Have you ever felt like you have so much to say, but the words just don't come out? You want to express yourself, but every time you try, people interrupt, ignore, or simply don't take you seriously. If you've ever felt this way, know that you're not alone. Thousands of people around the world struggle with speaking confidently. But here's the truth. Some of the greatest leaders in history were once shy, quiet, or even afraid to speak. They weren't born great speakers, they became great speakers. This video is for you. If you want to break free from hesitation, if you want your voice to be heard, if you want to stand tall and speak with confidence, because today, I will show you how to turn your weakness into your greatest strength. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never struggle to speak again. Everyone has a voice, but not everyone knows how to use it. Some people struggle to express their thoughts. Some feel nervous in front of others, and some simply believe that they aren't good speakers. But let me tell you a secret. No one is born confident. Confidence is built. Think about it. Some of the most successful people in the world, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, were once afraid to speak. Elon Musk was known for his awkwardness. Warren Buffett admitted that he was terrified of public speaking, and Steve Jobs wasn't always the charismatic speaker we remember. But over time, they learned, practiced, and transformed themselves into powerful communicators. The question is, are you ready to do the same? If you keep believing that, I can't speak well, people won't listen to me, or I'm just not confident, then nothing will ever change. But the moment you decide to take action, your journey to confidence begins. Speaking is not about perfection, it's about connection. It's about expressing your thoughts in a way that people understand and remember. So what's stopping you? Fear of judgment? The thought that you'll say something wrong? The belief that your words don't matter? Let me tell you, your voice matters more than you think. The world needs people who can speak with passion, who can inspire, who can lead. And that person can be you. In this video, I'm going to share 5 real-life stories of people who struggled to speak but eventually became powerful voices in the world. These are not just success stories. They are proof that no matter where you start, you can transform yourself. So if you're ready to break free from hesitation and speak with confidence, stay with me, because your journey starts now. Warren Buffett, one of the richest and most successful investors in the world, wasn't always confident. In fact, he used to be terrified of public speaking. As a young man, just the thought of speaking in front of a group would make his heart race and his hands sweat. He would avoid situations where he had to talk, and if he ever tried, his voice would shake, and words wouldn't come out the way he wanted. At 21, Buffett realized that if he didn't overcome this fear, his dreams of success would be limited. He knew that intelligence and knowledge weren't enough. He had to learn how to communicate effectively. So, he took a bold step. He enrolled in a Dale Carnegie public speaking course. At first, even sitting in a room with other people made him nervous. But he kept showing up. Day after day, he practiced speaking, even though it scared him. His coach gave him a simple exercise: talk to people daily, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. Buffett followed this advice and started speaking to small groups. He forced himself to practice until, slowly, his confidence grew. The real test came when he was asked to teach a class on investing. Standing in front of students, Buffett felt the old fear creeping back, but this time, he fought through it. He reminded himself of the principle: the only way out is through. Instead of running away, he embraced the discomfort. And something incredible happened. His confidence skyrocketed. Years later, Warren Buffett admitted that taking that speaking course was one of the best investments of his life, even more valuable than his Harvard education. Today, he is known for his calm, confident, and persuasive way of speaking. His words influence millions, and his speeches have shaped the world of business and finance. Fear of speaking won't disappear on its own. The only way to conquer it is to face it. No matter how nervous you feel, take the first step. Start speaking in small situations, practice daily, and embrace discomfort. Just like Buffett, you might begin with shaky words, but if you keep going, one day, your voice will inspire millions. Today, the world sees Elon Musk as a genius entrepreneur, a man whose words can move markets, inspire innovation, and excite millions. But what many don't know is that Musk was once a socially awkward, nervous speaker. He struggled to express himself clearly and often spoke too fast, mumbled, or lost track of his thoughts. In interviews, he seemed uncomfortable, and public speaking felt like an uphill battle for him. As a young boy, Musk was deeply introverted. He loved books, computers, and engineering but had difficulty communicating his ideas to people. Even as he built successful companies like PayPal, Tesla, and SpaceX, his struggle with public speaking continued. But Musk knew that if he wanted to inspire people to believe in his vision of space travel and electric cars, he had to improve. So, he decided to practice relentlessly. He began studying great speakers like Steve Jobs, watching their speeches, and analyzing how they engaged their audience. He noticed that great speakers didn't just talk. They told stories and connected with emotions. Musk started practicing storytelling in his speeches, making complex topics simple and exciting. Another technique he used was recording himself. He would review his speeches, note where he hesitated or lost confidence, and work on improving those areas. Slowly, his speech delivery became clearer, his confidence grew, and his ability to hold an audience's attention improved. One of Musk's biggest breakthroughs came when he gave his 2017 TED Talk about the future of transportation and space travel. Unlike his earlier speeches, where he seemed uncertain, this time, he spoke with passion, clarity, and confidence. His ability to simplify complex ideas made people excited about his vision. Even today, Musk continues to refine his speaking skills. He still makes mistakes, but he keeps improving because he follows a simple belief. Every skill can be learned with practice. If you struggle with speaking, don't believe that it's a permanent weakness. Speaking is a skill, just like any other, and it can be learned. Even if you start out awkward, hesitant, or nervous, consistent practice can transform you into a confident speaker. Study great speakers and learn from their techniques. Record yourself and analyze your speech. Practice storytelling to make your words more engaging. If Elon Musk, one of the most brilliant but socially awkward people, can train himself to speak with confidence, so can you. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, one of India's most respected scientists and former president, was not always a confident speaker. As a child, he was extremely shy and soft-spoken. He loved learning and spent hours reading books, but when it came to speaking in front of people, he hesitated. He wasn't the kind of person who naturally commanded attention with his words. Even as a young scientist, Kalam struggled to express himself. He had brilliant ideas, but he often felt that others were better at explaining things. While he worked on India's missile and space programs, he realized that knowledge alone wasn't enough. He needed to communicate his ideas effectively to inspire others. One day, when he was working on India's satellite program, his team faced a major challenge. There was confusion, and people needed guidance. Kalam had all the answers in his mind, but instead of stepping forward, he hesitated. At that moment, his mentor Dr. Vikram Sarabhai told him something that changed his life. If you have knowledge that can help people, it is your responsibility to share it. These words struck deep. Kalam realized that his hesitation was not just affecting him, it was holding back the progress of an entire team. That day, he made a decision. He would not let his fear stop him from speaking when his words could make a difference. Kalam started practicing public speaking in small ways. Instead of avoiding meetings, he began actively participating. He focused on clarity, making his complex scientific ideas simple so that even an ordinary person could understand them. He learned to speak with purpose, knowing that his words could inspire innovation, hard work, and national pride. His biggest transformation came when he became the President of India. Instead of being a silent leader, he became known as the People's President because of his powerful speeches. He traveled across the country, addressing students, scientists, and world leaders with confidence and passion. His words inspired millions, and his speeches are still remembered today. One of his most famous speeches, "Dream, Dream, Dream," became a guiding force for young people, urging them to believe in their potential. If you feel shy or hesitant to speak, focus on the purpose of your words. Don't speak just for the sake of speaking. Speak to inspire, educate, and lead. Your voice matters when it carries knowledge. If you have something valuable to share, don't hold back. Learn to explain ideas in a way that even a child can understand. Dr. Kalam proved that great speakers are not born, they are made. And the secret is simple. Speak with knowledge, speak with purpose, and the world will listen. Fourth principle. Own your story. Your voice is your power. Today, Oprah Winfrey is one of the most powerful and influential women in the world. Her words inspire millions, her speeches move people to tears, and her presence commands respect. But what if I told you that she was once a young girl who was told to stay silent? Oprah was born into extreme poverty and faced a difficult childhood. She grew up in an environment where children were not encouraged to speak their minds. Worse, she suffered trauma and hardship that made her feel unworthy of being heard. She spent years battling self-doubt, fear, and insecurity. In school, Oprah had a natural talent for reading and speaking, but she wasn't confident. She loved stories, but she feared that her own story wasn't worth telling. Who would listen to a poor, struggling girl? One day, her teacher noticed that she had a gift. Her voice carried emotion, depth, and truth. Encouraged by this, Oprah participated in a public speaking contest. She told a personal story, speaking from the heart. To her surprise, people listened. Not only did she win the contest, but she also felt something she had never felt before, power in her own voice. That moment changed her forever. She realized that her story mattered and that sharing her truth could help others. Instead of hiding, Oprah embraced her voice. She started practicing storytelling, not just in formal speeches, but in everyday conversations. She learned the power of vulnerability. She didn't pretend to be perfect. Instead, she spoke about real struggles, emotions, and lessons. When she entered the media industry, people told her she wasn't fit for TV because she was too emotional. But Oprah didn't change to fit their mold. She owned her style. She turned personal conversations into meaningful discussions. She asked the hard questions. She connected with people's emotions, and she made sure that everyone's story was heard. Soon, she became the host of The Oprah Winfrey Show, which became one of the most watched talk shows in history. Her voice became a force of change, empowering people around the world. If you're afraid to speak, ask yourself, what's stopping you? Is it fear? Self-doubt? Thinking that your story isn't important? Your voice has power. Own it. Don't let fear silence you. Your story matters. The struggles you face can inspire others. Speak with authenticity. People don't connect with perfect speakers. They connect with real ones. Oprah turned her pain into power, her struggles into strength, and her words into wisdom. And so can you. Fifth principle. Master the art of connection. Speak to inspire, not just to impress. When we think of Barack Obama, we picture a leader whose speeches electrify crowds, inspire nations, and give people hope. But what most don't know is that Obama wasn't always a confident speaker. In fact, in his early years, he often struggled to connect with people through his words. As a young lawyer and community organizer, he was passionate about bringing change. But his speeches felt too complex, too intellectual. People would listen, but they didn't always feel his words. He realized that speaking wasn't just about sounding smart, it was about connecting with people's hearts and minds. Obama decided to study the greatest orators in history, Martin Luther King Jr., John F. Kennedy, and Abraham Lincoln. He noticed one thing they all had in common. They didn't just give speeches, they told stories. They didn't just share facts, they spoke with emotion. He began practicing a new approach. White heavy check mark. Instead of focusing on himself, he focused on his audience. White heavy check mark. Instead of using complex words, he used simple, powerful language. White heavy check mark. Instead of giving long explanations, he used stories and metaphors. His real breakthrough came during the 2004 Democratic National Convention speech. It was a defining moment. He spoke from the heart, shared his personal journey, and painted a vision of unity. The crowd erupted in applause. That night, Barack Obama became a rising star in politics. Obama mastered 3 key speaking techniques that made his speeches unforgettable. Keycap 1. Empathy. He always connected with his audience's emotions, making them feel seen and understood. Keycap 2. Storytelling. He used personal stories and real-life examples to bring his words to life. Keycap 3. Powerful pauses. Instead of rushing, he used pauses to let his words sink in, making them more impactful. When he ran for president in 2008, his speech, "Yes, we can," became a movement. He wasn't just delivering words, he was delivering hope. If you want to become a powerful speaker, don't just try to sound impressive, aim to inspire. Understand your audience. Speak to their emotions, their struggles, their dreams. Use stories. Facts tell, but stories sell. People remember stories, not just words. Speak with heart. When your words come from a place of passion, people will feel it. Obama's journey proves that the best speakers aren't born, they are made. And with the right mindset, you too can inspire the world with your voice. If there's one thing these stories teach us, it's that great speakers are not born, they are made. Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Dr. Abdul Kalam, Oprah Winfrey, and Barack Obama all started as people who struggled with speaking. They faced fear, doubt, and hesitation. But what made them different? They refused to let their weakness define them. Each of them followed a principle that transformed their voice into a powerful tool. Buffett faced his fear. He knew the only way out was through. Musk practiced relentlessly. He proved that every skill can be learned. Kalam spoke with purpose. He shared knowledge that inspired millions. Oprah owned her story. She showed that your voice is your power. Obama mastered connection. He learned that inspiring others is more important than just impressing them. And here's the truth, you can do the same. If you've ever felt nervous about speaking, if you've ever doubted whether your words matter, remember, your voice has power. Maybe right now, you're hesitant, struggling to express yourself, or afraid of judgment. But just like these great figures, you can transform. What's the next step? Keycap 1. Start small. Speak up in daily conversations. The more you practice, the stronger your confidence will become. Keycap 2. Tell your story. Don't just talk. Share experiences that connect with people's emotions. Keycap 3. Embrace mistakes. Every great speaker was once a beginner. Keep improving, and don't be afraid to fail. Keycap 4. Believe in your message. If you speak with conviction, people will listen. The world doesn't need perfect speakers, it needs real speakers. People who speak with courage, honesty, and passion. So the question is, will you step forward and use your voice?